Okay, I wanted to make a video to show you how to get through the portion of the lab that plays the song. And then you have to modify that to create a chonker noise. So I've already logged into the remote machine. I've started a Zoom call from my home computer. I've logged into the Zoom call using the remote computer. And right now I've pinned the remote computer's webcam feed uh, to the Zoom call. So that's why it looks so large. And there's one thing I really have to stress. You have to make sure, well, first of all, you have to unmute your microphone so that you can hear things at home. But you have to go here to this little triangle, click on it, and I've already done this, but you'll have to do it. Select the microphone 1080p webcam. Okay? So you need to do that. So now I'm set up on Zoom, everything's working. I'm sitting here at home, I can hear what's going on in the lab. And I'm going to go through the lab, portions of the lab for you. So I've downloaded the zip files. You won't have access to this one, this is solved, but let's go through this one, which is called timer underscore PWM underscore JB. JB stands for Jingle Bells, as you'll see. So I'm going to extract that. Extract all, and let's just put it right here. There it goes, and I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to load the project. Kyle starts up, and that's our project. And I'm going to load up the code. So in previous years, the students got incomplete code and they had to finish the code. And I was thinking about that. I thought a different way to get you guys to learn about this is to give you completed code and ask you to modify it. So this is the solution, if you like, from last year to play the song Jingle Bells. And it's using something called Embed. Now, Embed is a software development kit, and it's available for these microcontrollers. It really simplifies how things work. You don't have to go into the register level anymore to set things up like you did in the previous lab. So I'm going to leave it with you to read through the code and trace through the code the same way I showed you in a live stream relating to previous labs. You can go in here and you can right-click on things like this PWM out, right-click on it, go to definition, right? And then you can go to find where this is defined. So you double-click on that and it loads it up, and then you read through the file and you can see how it works, right? So I'm not going to get into that in this little demo. What I wanted to show you, first of all, is to compile the code, load it onto the connected. There we go. That's so annoying. Now, how can we control this? Remember, there's the Arduino. Oh, see how the audio just faded out? That's because I didn't set up the echo cancellation and so on. So you might want to do that. Go to the audio settings, and where was that? It was under audio. Automatically adjust microphone volume, suppress background noise. No, we don't want to do that. Let's just go to advanced. And show in meeting option to enable original sound or microphone. Disable echo cancellation. Give you high fidelity music mode. It doesn't matter if you use stereo audio. Okay. So now if I turn on original sound, it won't fade out like it was doing. So I'm glad that happened because we had to fix it. You'll probably run into the same problem. Okay, the thing I wanted to show you is the Arduino controller. So it's this one again. By the way, if it comes up and stays gray, it just means that somebody else still logs into the machine, blocking access to the COM port. Okay, so the buttons work as before. In this lab, don't worry about if the button is white or black, okay? It doesn't matter in this lab. Especially for this part, we're not using the buttons. The only thing I want you to use is this slider. This slider is connected to an electronic potentiometer controlled by the Arduino. So you're really modifying the position of this potentiometer, which if you examine the code will adjust the volume. We don't have access to the other potentiometer. We didn't build the hardware for that, so you don't have access, or you don't have the ability to change the speed of the playback. But this annoying sound can be turned off by sliding that all the way to the left. You can still barely hear it. When you want it to really annoy people, you can turn it up all the way. Okay, so I'm going to slide it down here like that. Now that's another thing you should be aware of. If you start up your firmware on the target development board, you can't hear anything, and you're sure everything's set up properly, try moving this around, because maybe somebody left it in a state where you can't hear it. I usually just leave it right there in the center. Okay, so that is that issue. And the other thing that you'll need to know how to do in this lab is to use the attached oscilloscope. There's an oscilloscope connected to the speaker. Unfortunately, the camera's a little bit out of position on this machine. We'll have to get that fixed. But there's a speaker up here, roughly, and that is hardwired into the scope. So you can find scope and then the machine number as an icon on your desktop. Double click that. It will connect to the scope, and then click on Remote Front Panel. And that will bring up the scope. So I was playing with it previously. I want to show you a few things. You'll have to play with it a lot to figure it out. So I click on Auto Set and make sure it's running. It's going to find the waveform that's being applied. You might have to scale up a little bit here. Scale the height of these guys. That looks better. And you might want to scale the time base as well. You can see more on the screen. Okay. And otherwise, you'll be asked to find a few things in your lab. Make sure, I did this before for the video portion I deleted, make sure that your volume is on when you're doing these measurements. If you turn the volume off, watch what happens to my waveform. It goes, right? Because this is measuring the voltage applied to the speaker. So if you mess with that, you're going to lose the waveform. I'm sure you guys know how to use the scope, so I'm not going to get into that. You can hit non-stop if you want to freeze it on the screen and so on. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, I should show you one other thing. So continue running. You can also look at the frequency content to make sure that the tones you're going to be asked to generate exist on the frequency. In the FFT of the input signal. So that's how you can get to that one. Okay, so you double click it to get rid of it later. Let's turn that volume down and end this video.